everyone, Orange here. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to Path to Decency episode 21. So, we have a couple summons to do, the most important one being the legendary scroll that I got from beating TOAH hard for the first time, and then we also have 9 mysticals to summon that we will do at the end of the video. We gotta save the best for last. So, like I did in the last episode, I'm going to go over everything in chronological order that happened in the last week, so I kind of have a long list, so let's get into it. To start off the week after the last episode, I upgraded the attack building from the Glory Shop, so I'll show you guys the buildings that I'm kind of working on right now. So, the attack building is currently level 3 for me, and the buildings that I'm really focusing on are the Crystal Altar, which is the HP building, because I am working on TOAH hard. And then I'm also kind of going into the Ancient Sword, which is the attack building, and then the Guardstone, which is the defense building. I'm kind of like all over the place, but I figure it's okay to kind of be all over the place because HP and defense kind of rely on each other, sort of, if you want to talk about it that way. And then attack is kind of whatever, so I'm kind of dipping into all of those. And then, as you guys can see, I also have a level 1 upgrade for the Water Sanctuary and the Wind Sanctuary. I did that a while ago, but I just forgot to mention it, I suppose. So, the reason I chose those two are because my main damage dealers are water and wind monsters. I have a lot of water damage dealers, the main one being Theomars. I use him a ton, pretty much everywhere. And then we have Sig and TOAH, and that's pretty much it for water damage dealers. Then my main wind damage dealer is Lagmaron. So it is only level 1, but I figure, why not do it? So I also upgraded a rune on my Lagmaron. Well, I just plus 15'd it. It's not the best rune, but it's okay. So I finally did that because I've been using him a bunch in Arena and in Guild Wars. So I have like a small thing, sort of, that I should mention. Well, actually, yesterday or the day before, my Lagmaron, I used him in Guild Wars and he didn't stun anything and then I lost. But I probably shouldn't have brought him because I actually went against a Vero Theo Chisoon comp and I decided to bring lag versus that. But I probably should have just mirrored it because I didn't need lag there. So I ended up losing that one. But I did actually win a battle against a Guardian player, I believe. Well, we just switched over, but you guys saw that one Guardian player there. I took a screenshot. I'll post his, comp and stuff. I don't think he had the best comp, but my Lagmaron worked pretty well versus that first team. So I kind of still have, a love-hate relationship with my Lagmaron, because sometimes he does his job, which is to stun stuff and kill stuff, aka make me win, and then sometimes he just totally fails and doesn't stun anything, doesn't do much damage, and then I lose. So he is one of the monsters that I'm kind of considering Devilmoning. I will talk about that later in this episode. I'm kind of I have a dilemma, who to Devilmon, but I kind of have a plan in action that I will talk about. So, and then after that, I made my Brienne 6 stars because at this point in time, I still hadn't completed TOAH Hard 99 or 100, and I thought, okay, I'm going to need Brienne to be 6 stars anyways, eventually, for TOAH Normal autoing, TOAH Hard autoing, Hall of Heroes autoing, and that's pretty much it, I think. So, I thought I may need him for 99 or 100. Turns out I didn't need him because I did complete both levels without Brienne, and he doesn't have any skill ups, so I made him 6 star. I had a bunch of EXP boosts. I'm not really sure what they were from. I can't recall, but I still have 1 left, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but I think I had 1, and then that kind of led to me 6 starring Brienne, and then I may have 6 starred another monster. I can't remember. I don't think I did. I think Brienne was the only one last week. So I did that, and then I was kind of thinking, because since you guys know, I pretty much obtained all of the monsters for PvE that I wanted from Summoning Stones, so I'm still not really sure what to summon yet, but I do have some ideas, and I've already talked about these in the previous episodes, but my ideas are either Gildong, Wuchi, or PvP monsters, like Chloe, Lucian, Orion, that sort of thing. So I am going back into Ifrits, which you guys already know. I already talked about it. So I'm looking for a Tessarian or a Mirror. I think either would be fine, but a Mirror might be better for the first one to get. So I've only summoned 2 so far. You guys probably already know this. They both were Theomarses, so we're 40 out of 100, and I'm still buying the weekly Rainbowmon, and then 2 pieces of Ifrits, and then I was kind of like debating, what do I go for after this, right? So I was doing some math with the summoning scroll stuff, and if you think about it, you basically get 1 Nat 5 per 200 scrolls. So if we can buy 4 scrolls per week, 200 divided by 4 is 50, so it's basically 50 weeks until we get a Nat 5. Of course, we still have odds going on, and pretty much Nat 5s can happen whenever, but on average, I think it'll be 50 weeks. I don't want to say on average because I started doing so much math, I can't really say for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be like 50 weeks or so. I haven't done the math for that, I am sorry. And so that's kind of a long time, right? 50 weeks. And then I looked into the guild flags. That's what I was assuming I would go into, because I do plan on doing Guild Wars for my whole time playing Summoner's War, because I like to do PvP. So I thought the flags would make sense, but then I looked up the prices for them, and they're like ridiculously expensive. I was on the wiki, and I think one of them is missing the final price, and I didn't look on Reddit because I got kind of lazy. But if you total it, it'll take a long time pretty much to level up all the flags. But I did decide, I talked to some of my friends, and mainly one of them kind of convinced me to go for the flags. Even though it's going to take a ridiculous amount of time, I will go for them. So whenever I happen to get extra guild points, I will be purchasing those. I'm not exactly sure which ones I will purchase, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for the offensive stats first. So I guess we could technically say like HP and defense could be offensive if you're running monsters who scale off that, whose damage scales off that, or if you're running bruiser comps, but I don't really know if that's necessary. First of all, I don't know how many bruiser comps are used in Guild Wars, because I'm pretty sure Theomars is the god of Guild Wars, and I haven't really experienced too much bruisery stuff. I pretty much run a couple of teams in Guild Wars, but mainly I do run damage dealers. Well, it's kind of 50-50. Usually I run like a speed team and then a bruiser team, and then sometimes I have to split them up, and it's kind of weird. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for the flags that are going to help me on offense more, because defense doesn't really matter too much at my level. What matters is me winning my offenses so my guild can actually win the battle, and so I can continue to farm points to keep getting more rewards and stuff like that. So I think I will probably go into either the Flag of Rage or the Flag of Battle. I'm not really sure. I am pretty far away from my first level up or upgrade or whatever, so I will probably have to look into that before I actually decide, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be offensive stats. And then after that, I 5-starred my Tyrant on one of those other EXP boosts. I think it was the one that I got from 6-starring Briand. And this, all the while, I was experiencing those network delays when I was trying to level my Briand. That was super annoying, but I did see a solution on Reddit to download like a VPN, so I'm currently using some app on a free trial for a VPN. So I did go ahead and 5-star my Tyrant, because I think I'll probably be using him for PvP, and I figure he's a good monster to do that for World Boss too. So I'm still not so sure what my comps are going to be if I do use Tyrant, but I'm pretty sure I will be using him either on defense or offense. I'm not really sure. So I did that, and then now we are in the timeline of last week. We are on Sunday. So on Sunday, I did indeed get C1 again. You guys know I've kind of been going back and forth between Fighter 3 and C1. It's kind of like either or every week. I haven't really been keeping track, but I feel like there have been more Fighter 3s in there than C1s. So what I did on Sunday was, I'm not sure if this strategy was like legit or if it's a new strategy that I came up with or whatever. But basically what I did was, it kind of helps. I found that it helps if I wake up early on Sunday, because then I can get rid of my wings or whatever, like throughout the day, to kind of always be hovering around that C1 area, and then finally get C1 during rush hour. But I did not wake up early on Sunday, so I woke up kind of late, and then what I started doing was I started attacking players who were kind of high up on the list. So these are my stats, and we'll come back to them for the previous week because there's something interesting I want to talk about for the stats. But I'll give you guys like an example. So if it was Sunday right now and I was looking to climb back up to Conqueror, I would probably start hitting these guys at the very top of the list. Like, I might only hit that 1297 and then refresh to get another person who's like high ranked. So since I'm already 1278, I could already refresh at that point, not even hit that 1297, and start going for these like really high ranked people. I'd probably hit those 213 guys and then refresh again. So that was kind of my strategy on Sunday, and I think it helps me climb up pretty high quickly. I mean, you guys may already know about that, but I don't think I was actually doing that either through laziness or stupidity in my previous weeks for Arena. So I do set my defense, I think last week I set it on Saturday, I think. Maybe, I can't remember. I think it was like Saturday or something. So I don't think it really matters when I set my defense too much, as long as it's like a day before or so. So the interesting thing I wanted to show you guys about my previous week was my defense rate, my defense successful rate or whatever. So we see previous week, defense rate 6.8%. That's up from pretty much everything I've ever seen before. I can't recall if it's been that high. I don't think it has, but that's pretty dang high. And I was like, okay, that actually looks kind of good. Maybe I've been winning more defenses than I thought. I usually don't revenge people because I don't know how high ranked they are, because if it looks like I can revenge someone, sometimes I'm a little bit weirded out by doing that, because who knows, I could be like the very bottom of their list and they could just have godlike runes and then crush me. So I feel a little bit more comfortable hitting people whose rank I know on Sunday during rush hour. So I usually never ever look at people to revenge, except now I am, because I found that this is working out pretty well. It's working out pretty well, me going back and forth and like killing all these people, and it really helps. Like, I only have my Vero, so usually when I get these revenges against these full teams, I get like 14 points or something. So that's pretty nice. So I'll do a quick, I'll do some wings for you guys, but I probably wouldn't look at these as like too much of anything, because I don't know how high ranked these guys are. Probably pretty low, probably like fighter 2 or something, kind of bad. So I wouldn't look at these and be like, holy crap, like you guys still know like I'm pretty much a fighter 3 C1 player. So I'll do some wings to show you guys what I've been doing this week to farm points. I'm out of water. See, look at that, plus 13. That's so nice. Like, these people who have these defenses, I just get plus 13 points. So on Saturday, or no, on Sunday, when I'm looking to climb back up, I'll probably already have my defense set, and then I'll have all these guys who are going to feed me 14 points, basically. So that'll be pretty sweet. So this guy doesn't have, like, a booster or anything, so we'll run the big dick comp versus him. I have this, like, really, like, janky wombo combo going on here with Sig and Lag. So, yeah, oh, shoot, that Chloe was not very fast at all. You can just tell by her attack bar that, that Chloe is super slow, which is good for me. So I've just been going back and forth with these people. I haven't lost to many of them. I did lose to this one guy that I thought I beat before, but I don't see him. Hey, look, that guy his name is Big Dicks. No, dude, I got the Big Dick Wombo combo. Not really, because it has Sig on it and Lag, and they both have no skill ups. So that was a little slice of what I've been doing to farm arena points, or glory points during the week. And then pretty much on Sunday I'm going to look at hitting those high players, and I'll let you guys know how that goes in the next episode. We will see. I still kind of feel like arena is always like hit or miss or something, but maybe that's just me making stuff up. But I will continue to report my findings. So I already showed you guys what rank I got. I kind of forgot what it was. 9574. That's kind of always where I land, which is like still not very good because it's just barely C1, which is pretty much always what I've gotten when I've gotten C1. It's always kind of like barely really sketchy. So, I was doing rush hour and then there were 10 minutes left, but I was pretty confident at my ranking and I was like, I don't really want to battle anymore. And I also did not do any refills for anyone wondering. I actually did do a refill towards the end, but it wasn't to get C1, it was just to clear my rivals because I had decided, I was like, there's 10 minutes left, I'm ranked 9,100, and then I guess I got hit because I was 9,500 or something. Maybe it didn't update, so I was like, I'm gonna refresh and do my rivals because I want to get those crystals and get the rivals on cooldown. So that's that, and then I went into TOA hard 100 after that. I believe I had already beaten 99, and then I had worked on 100 a little bit. So during that time frame, I was working on 100 after rush hour, and I had some failures in there with different teams. I was trying a bunch of different teams, and pretty much I narrowed it down to, I even tried my old team. I talked about this in my 100 video, but basically I tried my really, really old TOA hard team, or not TOA hard, TOA normal 100 team. So this is like my old school, like first ever TOA normal clear on Ath'taros. So I tried this, and this team actually made it. I was able to kill both crystals, but then once they were down, my team was just dying to the boss. They weren't tanky enough or fast enough to reset his attack bar, and I wasn't able to speed myself up enough, and then, so that kind of happened, and I was like, crap, that looked like really bad. I just cannot tank this guy out like I can on normal. So from there, I looked at some other options. I said to myself, Vero is pretty much useless for the boss stage. Besides, I mean, if you want to use him as a leader, then he'd probably be more useful for the boss stage, especially if you're going to dot up the crystals. He can help you a little bit with his dots, but for me, I was like, what's he really bringing to the table? Not too much. So I took him out of there, and then I kind of started thinking, what can I actually do? Well, as you guys know, the boss does damage to you when you hit him. He has like a revenge thing. I don't technically know what the skill is, but he'll do damage to you, so I needed a healer, right? You can't run without a healer versus this boss, unless you're running some, I don't even think it's possible. I think you need a healer. No matter if it doesn't really have to be a healer. I'm sure you can get away with like basalt if you have like crazy ass runes, but I needed a healer because I had to hit him to kill him in the first place. If I'm hitting him, I'm taking damage, so I needed a healer, right? And I figure, okay, Beretta's like a really good monster for this level to attack bar reset him. So here's a little glimpse into my thought process as I'm troubleshooting this boss. So I kind of figured I needed those two, and then the last 3 slots can kind of be whatever. So from here, I tried, we already have, so I kind of like to have a slower and a speed booster on one team. So for slowers, I tried out Spectra. Spectra worked really well because he chunks the boss out, and then I can either use Bernard or Verd. So I was kind of switching between the two. So with this team, we do have the defense buff from Shannon, which is very useful, but the Shannon and Spectra do overlap on that slow, which is not the most optimal, but it can work. So I believe I tried this one, and like the same thing kind of failed. I didn't write down my whole like troubleshooting, like what team did I use here, that sort of thing. But I kind of kept at this whole process thing. I think maybe I even tried Mav here. I did try Mav, but I don't know if it was with this exact same team. I think I went with Mav, and since Mav does give you the speed buff, let's think about this, right? Bernard boosts our attack bar and gives us a speed buff. So if we use Mav with him, we're getting like a double speed buff. But think about this. We can speed buff ourselves. I almost just kind of spit there a little bit. And we can also boost our attack bar with Verd, so it's like double. Like Verd has the speed buff on him and he's boosting our attack bar. It's like insane. Like that's like super good, right? So I believe I tried this team out. Don't think it worked. because I thought like, oh, with my Mav, you know, reducing my Beretta's cooldown, maybe I can keep up with the attack bar resets on the boss. Not enough. And then somehow in here, I think maybe instead of Spectra, I tried Arya. Can't exactly remember, but I think this was one of the teams that I tried, and I couldn't keep up with resetting his attack bar. So we're just going to skip ahead here because I don't remember exactly what happened. But the team that I was pretty much using was, let's see, where is she? We're looking for Hua. So this team got me the closest. It was the closest attempt because I think eventually I figured I need 2 attack bar reducers because that damn crystal is fucking me up and making the boss move, and I need to focus on the boss. So I figured 2 attack bar pushbackers would be helpful, right? We have the slow from Arya. We have the attack bar boost with Verd. I was also I think maybe I tried out Bernard here, because I said this in my video for TOA Hard 100, but sometimes I feel like Bernard gives me more turns for some reason. I don't exactly know why, but I don't really know. But when I did this level, Verd was more successful. I don't exactly know the mechanics, but I think it has to do with Hua being so slow or something that I don't exactly know. But Verd was working out better, so I tried this team, and it was very close. I got the boss to 15% health, and then my phone crashed. The boss did get some turns in, but I think I just got really good RNG. I think he got 3 turns, and I think on all 3 of those, he just auto-attacked one of my monsters. So it was like a really sketchy run, and I did get him to 15%, so I was like, this is really, really successful. I knew at this point, if I can just get Spectra to the boss, it should be an auto win, because I was just struggling a tiny bit with keeping his attack bar pushed back, because it was just like, because I did get him to 15%, right, and he moved 3 times, so I knew Spectra would just give me that little bit to help me keep up with the pushbacks and stuff like that, but the only problem was the first 2 waves. Those first 2 waves are like insanely hard, and I wasn't sure if I could get him to the boss, like if all these squishies can survive, because most of my units are pretty squishy. Hua and Spectra's actually kind of tanky, but I think it's just overall my rune quality, because I have built these units to be pretty tanky. So I put my Hua on speed HP because I needed her to survive this level. I wish I could have put more damage on her, but putting the speed HP was the better option. And I have to thank one of my viewers who goes by the name of Willie for helping me. I didn't thank him in the other video because I kind of forgot, but thank you for recommending the speed HP build for Hua to make her tanky so she can keep getting those pushbacks and survive. So I managed to get them to the boss. I also watched another video. I mentioned this in my other one, but I watched a video made by a person who goes by the name of Silawangi Summoners War. I will link all these people down below. And Willie also has another channel called Poor Man's Summoners War, I believe. So I'll link that too. I think he's trying to move his videos over there. So I will link all those. And then what Silawangi did, I watched his video or her video. I don't know if it's a he or she. But I watched Silawangi's video for the first 2 waves, and then that really helped me focus in on what I needed to do for those first 2 waves. For the first one, I pretty much locked down the fire succubuses, whatever, Akia, I think is their name. So I focused them down on the first wave. Then on the second wave, I focused down the fire Valkyrias, the Vanessas. And then I was able to pass. I think I got really good RNG, but you also have to take note that my runes are not the best, so I won't have to get so lucky next time. What I'm saying is kind of weird. It makes it seem like, oh, I did get super lucky because my runes are very bad. But what I think is going to happen in the future is my rune quality will improve, so it's not going to be so sketchy next time. It'll be more of a solid run. So that's what I do with my channel, is show you guys my progression and stuff. So Only time will tell how easy this boss will be next time as my rune quality improves. So I will also link the video of me completing this boss down below, and then all of my runes are on that video. You click the Imgur album. As always, I always post my runes and my skill ups. So that was like pretty much the biggest thing, completing TOA hard. So we do have that legendary. I hope you guys didn't mind my little rant. That was actually kind of a long rant about my troubleshooting and stuff like that to complete TOA hard. And I also have to thank the elder priest of my guild, because he was helping me out with TOA hard, telling me what he thinks I should do, and then I was also kind of looking at videos at the same time. So, like I already said, I'm going to be working on my runes, and the biggest thing I'm going to be working on in the weeks ahead is preparing for Lyrith, because that is the next TOA hard boss that we have going on whenever it resets in 12 days. So I'm going to be preparing for her. I'm pretty confident that I can actually make it all the way up to her. I think the level before her is the Brownie Magicians. I do not think that they'll be a problem for me, but they might. So I'm kind of looking to beat her, preparing to face her, and also improving my runes so that TOA hard is not so hard, basically. Also, I can consider Devilmoning a couple of units. I'm holding on to my Devilmon, so I have like 6 here or something like that. Yeah, so I have 6, and the units that I'm kind of looking at, I'm going to hold on to them though. So the units that I'm kind of considering, I finished Devilmoning my Galleon, which is like somewhere here down lower on the list. But I decided to do that because I've been running Giants, which I'll talk about later in the video. So I put 1 on him to finish his time to loot, and then I was talking about the monsters that I can consider Devilmoning. Sig is a really big one for Lyrith. The Elder Priest was telling me how it's really important to land the attack debuff on Lyrith. Well, it doesn't really go up. The harmful effect rate doesn't go up, but the damage would definitely help to kill her faster and kill her clones faster. So Sig is one of them that I'm kind of considering. I've heard from everyone who's Devilmon their Sig that they don't regret it. The only reason I don't go ahead and do it right now is because I'm not sure if I need to. I might need to Devilmon something else depending on whatever happens in the future, if I get stuck on a certain level. And since I've already gotten this far without Devilmoning Sig, I don't exactly know if I need to or if it would be the wisest choice. So Sig is on my radar for something that I could Devilmon. Lagmaron, of course, for PvP. Pretty much only PvP, and I do use him in Giants. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So I did put 1 Devilmon on him like a while ago, so he's kind of an option. Jisoon, maybe not so much, but she kind of is an option, so these are her current skill ups. Brienne's an option, but I would say he's kind of low on the list for options. And then Arya is pretty much the other big option. So the main 3 are Sig, Lagmaron, and Arya. I'd probably rank them like S tier for who I can Devilmon, and then the others that I mentioned are below them. So I think it would be really, really big to skill up Arya's first skill with Devilmon, and then she needs 1 more for her second. And then I got really lucky on her third. I farmed however many skill ups she has, are however many I farmed from her Hall of Heroes. In my episode where I talked about that, I didn't really farm as many as I should have, but I was like sleeping too much and whatever. So she's kind of the other big one, like I said. I think that she would really, really benefit from it because I'm focusing so hard on TOA hard right now. So that's that whole little story. And then I already mentioned how I had to download the VPN thingy client. I don't even know how that stuff works, to get around those network delay things. And another thing that I didn't think I would work on that I did was that I worked on leveling up some monsters for the world boss, because I was kind of thinking about it, and if you think about how many extra crystals you can get if you move up a rank per however long it takes to kill the world boss, week and a half, I don't know, it's like pretty big. So with those EXP boosts that I got, I don't even really know how I had so many. I already told you guys, I don't even know. But, someone will probably know, though. I'm just kind of blanking here. So I leveled enough to have 3 attacks. The third attack only has 10 or 12 monsters, I think. So I wrote down what happened a couple times ago. I got an A-, a B-, and an F, and then I think today I got an A, a B, and an F. So the monsters that I leveled were the monsters that I was pretty sure I was going to use in the future. So I wrote down the list. I leveled Lisa, Tyron, Dark Assassin, and I also stuck some runes on them. And then I was also kind of working on the Fire High Elemental, because I know a lot of people use her for a nuker, and I don't have any fire nukers. I do have Rayoke, but he doesn't have runes on, and he's only 5-star. So I kind of like looked at working on the Fire High Elemental. So like I said, I worked on the units that I knew I would be using in the future, like Lisa, Dark Assassin, and Tyron pretty much. And then I just stuck some random runes on them. I think I tried to put sets on them. I'm not really sure if sets benefit from the world boss or if they affect the world boss, like proccing or something. I don't know. I also still got 125 crystals, which is whatever rank it is. So I will keep you guys posted to let you know if I actually move up to the master rank. So my goal right now is kind of the master rank, but I have still been getting those 125 crystals. So I need to keep an eye on that and not be lazy and don't forget. So I'll actually write that down, 125, and since I'm writing it down, I will remember. So hopefully we can bump up to that 150 during the next clear. Then I Devilmon my Galleon, which I already told you guys. And then I'm working on burning all of my crystals and giants. I haven't been doing a great job because I think I had like 1,500 yesterday or something. I don't know. I haven't been doing a great job, but I will show you guys a run. So I'm kind of back in giants. Oh, I did make a new team, sort of. So I pretty much just put Sig in there. My old team was my Vero, wherever. I'm pulling a YDCB, can't ever find anything, even though I only have like 26 stars. I did used to run my Vero in there, and then I kind of thought to myself, well, Sig has the same leader skill, and he would make it faster, so let's try to YOLO it even more. So this is my current Giants team. It's not 100%, but it is fairly close. So I'll show you guys a run, and I did break some records for my previous run times, so I was paying attention. With this new team, they set 3 records. First it was 1:37, then 1:22, then 1:19, and I think that's the highest that they're at right now. Well, the fastest. So I'm in Giants for a couple of reasons. Mainly it's for units, basically. So for Lirith, I'm probably going to use Sig for TOA hard on Lirith. So I'm looking at upgrading his runes because he's on Fatal Blade. So I can upgrade Sig's runes, I can upgrade Lagmaron's runes. I actually got 3 rune upgrades for Lagmaron. I already mentioned one. Oh wait, no, I didn't. I got 2. Wait, yeah, 2 upgrades, I think. So Lagmaron for PvP. And I was surprised at the amount of upgrades I had because his runes are just so bad, apparently. So I can upgrade Lagmaron. Bernard, of course, on the off chance that I get like a super fast rune. Briand, because I just pulled a Briand, and his runes aren't in the best place. Arya, of course, for TOA hard. Who else is there? Tyron is another big one for PvP. I think I'm going to rune Tyron on Despair, only for Amir, because I think Freeze and Stun will stack, and I think they both count towards Amir. Not quite sure on that, though. I think that's how it works, but if you guys know, then you guys can let me know. So I think I'm going to run him on Despair. I was kind of thinking about Despair Revenge. I'm not really sure what offset Tyron wants, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to run Tyron like really tanky. So I was kind of thinking Despair Revenge because maybe he can like revenge on something and stun them. But right now, the runes that I have on Tyron are shield because I have like so many leftover shield runes, and all of his other runes would have been like, I didn't have great options for his other runes because like so much of my stuff wants revenge. So I'll quickly show you guys his runes that I have on him. So Tyron was another monster, and then I think that's maybe about it of monsters that will benefit from running Giants again. And I've been in Dragons for a while, so I figure it's time for some giants. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to use all of those crystals in giants. A part of me feels like a little bit sketched out that I'm prioritizing giants so heavily. It makes sense and stuff, but if you actually think about it, the majority of my TOA hard units want runes from dragons, especially the ones that are kind of lacking in runes. So Beretta's on runes from giants, but I think his stats are like kind of okay. So Vero and Bella are two really big ones that want runes. Well, Vero can use runes from giants, his energy set, but violent, it's just that so much stuff wants violent runes and revenge runes. So those are two big ones, and then Arya's back in giants, so we're kind of 2 in giants, 2 in dragons, and then who else? Chisoon, sometimes I use her, she's back in dragons, so we have 2 versus 3, Mav, 2 versus 4, 2 versus 5, I guess if we include Bernard in there, it's 3 versus 5, I'm doing giants versus dragons. Hua for Ath'taros, 3 versus 6, who else? I don't know, Spectra. I guess Spectra would be 4 versus 6, but Violent Spectra works out, but I just don't think I have the resources to do that. So, I'm gonna be in Giants for a while unless I decide to switch, which could be a possibility during this week if I just think about it more and change my mind. But I am in Giants now, and then I think Giants would be good for PvP to work on pretty much my Lagmaron and Tyron to kind of work on some AOs and maybe even ADs. The Elder Priest was saying how Tyron is good on AD, and I have seen some Tyrons on AD. I remember getting beat by one, and I was like, oh god, no, I just keep getting CC'd, stop, and then I lost, and I was like, that kind of pissed me off. So, that's all that stuff about giants and stuff. So my goal is to pretty much get rid of all these crystals in giants or dragons, probably giants though, before TOA resets, because pretty much the TOA reset clock is pretty much my payday, so whenever it resets, I pretty much get paid, and I get all of my crystals for that month. So I'm going to try my best to get rid of these in giants, so when I finish this episode, I will be back spamming giants, and I'm really glad that my runtime is down to make farming more efficient. I also forgot to mention okay, hold on, that's next. The runes on lag. So that was kind of the big thing, my new Giants team, I suppose, just with one different monster. I did upgrade that guard stone, so at the beginning I told you guys I upgraded my attack building. I also upgraded the guard stone later on this week to level 4. And then I'll show you guys Lag's new runes. So his stats are getting better. I think the main thing that went up was his crit damage. I think his crit rate stayed the same because I had removed a rune and lost crit rate, but then I think I gained the same amount back. I can't remember. So the runes that I upgraded and got a new rune, basically, were slot 1 and slot 3, so we can take a look at these. This one's actually okay. I can't remember which one that replaced. We can probably find it here. I'm pretty sure it replaced this one. So this one's pretty crappy. It did replace this one because I remember that 7% attack. So it looks like we lost 1% attack, we lost a little bit of speed, we gained a little bit of crit rate, and we gained crit damage. So that's kind of a brief summary, but you guys can actually check out all the stats if you want. So I'll show that rune again. So that's the one that upgraded, and then also his slot 3. So let us try to find this one somewhere in here. Pretty sure it was this one. So 8% crit rate and 17% crit damage. So like I said, he gained some crit rate on the slot 1, but he lost some from this one. So take a good look at that rune in the top left corner, and then I'll show you guys this rune. So it looks like, let me go back real quick. So we went from 13 to 8, and then we gained 17% crit damage and 4 speed. So we lost a little bit of speed actually, but I felt like the crit damage makes more sense. Like, I don't think you need too much accuracy on Lag. I think you do need to get some, though, because he does have his stun. So I'm not sure kind of what you want to aim for. I think G3 players aim for like 40% or so for damage dealers, because you kind of want pretty much every single stat you can get. Mine, of course, has none. which is something that I could probably work on later, but I think right now I just need to make sure he does damage. So my whole thought process with my AO, well, another one of my friends actually has been helping me. He goes by the name Birdie, so him and I were kind of talking about AO ideas, sort of. So I'm either thinking Shimate lead or Tyron lead. We need to check this. I didn't even know my egg timer went off. Okay, so I was thinking Shimate lead or Tyron lead, and then if I run lag, so I'll show you guys the team that I'm kind of considering, I suppose. So it's either this one or with Tyron. So my lag cannot really nuke everything like an Amir could. So if I ran this team, it'd kind of be like a stall team, I suppose. So theoretically, I would have Tyron move before lag, and then if Tyron did not freeze enough people, like who he needed to freeze, then I could probably use my lag's third skill to try to stun the rest of the people. So best case scenario, Tyron freezes pretty much everyone, and then lag can punch whoever is the biggest threat, and then next turn I can stun them with lag, and then whatever, etc., etc. So this is kind of like the AO that I'm looking at, but once again, lag is like, I have a love-hate relationship with him, so I'm kind of trying to figure that out. It's kind of been on my mind, something that I've been thinking about, but I haven't made like an absolute decision. I'm mainly just working on TOA hard now. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about. I am still hoping for that Amir though, because I think if I got Amir, it would just be like face roll with that team. I can just put Amir in there instead of lag, and then I think I should be able to pretty much like clear a lot of ADs. So that's kind of what I've been thinking about too. And one last thing before we get into the summons, I found out that I can do R4. I don't know if it's not that big of a deal, I suppose, but one of my guild members was doing R4, and in our guild chat he was like, first time R4, I just completed it. And then I was like, oh really, I bet I can do R4 too. So I did do R4. Let me see if I can show you the team. I wasn't actually sure. I think this is the first time that I realized that I could do it. I don't think that I've tried before. Maybe I've tried but failed. I don't know. I did it with 2 people in like a public raid. I'll probably post the picture now on the screen because I took a screenshot. I had like 32% contribution. So it wasn't the worst, but it also wasn't exactly carrying. So it's kind of like nice to know another benchmark, like what is possible if you just progress through the game properly. Because I believe that I'm progressing through the game properly. Other people might have some other opinions about that. But I don't feel like you need to prioritize raids at all until pretty much you're ready to build an R5 team, which might only really require Darien. Then it might just be like R5 done. I don't know. So this was the team that I had to run because they had resistance leaders. I planned on running my Briand in there, so where's my Briand? I think Briand might be like kind of a bad choice, but I do have that option for a resistance lead if other people had other leads. And then I decided to go with the triple heals and then the double damage because they had some other stuff going on. So I've been pretty much trying out a bunch of different units for raids. At one point I was using Shannon because she just brings so much glancing, slow, and her buffs, but then the boss kind of takes them off. So I was trying out a bunch of different teams, and then like I said, this was the team that was successful. Vero, not the most useful, but I had to run him because the other 2 had like resistance leads. I can't remember if one of them changed or if we had 2 resistance leads, but I put Vero in there and then it worked out pretty well. So that's kind of another thing that I was excited about, that I was able to do R4 just with the monsters that I already had built for other stuff. And now we can do the summons. I have one more little note written down that I have to like give my cat her flea preventative stuff. It says squirt cat because sometimes she escapes my house, just like Alcatraz, like my shirt. My house is like Alcatraz for her. Then she'll escape outside, so we have to give her the flea stuff, even though she doesn't get out that much. So that's like the other little note that I had. So that's pretty much it for this episode besides our summons. So I told the Elder Priest that my legendary is going to be a Praha. You hear that? Give me a Praha, come to us please. So let's do the mysticals first and then the legendary last. It's either a Praha or an At5, so let's do the mysticals. Here we go. It's time for an At5. Oh, Draco? I don't know if Draco's the best brownie magician. Let's check him out. I don't really think he's the best, but we'll see. So the standard run attacks all enemies with giant orbs, decreasing their defense. So that's like Galleon. 30% attack gauge and gives immunity for 2 turns. I already have a Velajewel, so I don't know if he'd be the most useful. I don't technically know if... I'm pretty sure all brownies are useful, but I am not 100% on that. He's cute though, so I'm going to lock him because I like to save all Nat 4s, so yay for Draco, I suppose, even though I already have like Galleon and stuff. Okay, it's time for more mysticals. Okay, I'm gonna skip through these if there's no lightning. Oh, what the heck was that? Kugo? I didn't even see. Something weird. At least we got a lightning though. That was pretty sweet. Okay. One more. Nothing. Okay. I'm getting nervous for this legendary. Are you guys ready? You guys ready? I'm not quite ready, but the finger is going down anyways. Here we go. Nat 5, please. No, a kung fu fucking girl. Fuck off, come to us. Well, not really fuck off, come to us. God damn it. Alright, so I got a fucking kung fu girl. Guess I'll lock her, dumbass. That was not the bra that I wanted. Okay, so that's it for this episode. A really, really awesome scroll from completing TOA hard for the first time. I'm so glad I got this monster. She'll be amazing. I'll get C2 right away, and then eventually G1 or whatever comes after C2, C3. We're just gonna go straight to G1 with this girl. So that's it on my list. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you guys later.